name's Zoe, welcome to the Nzinga project. As part of the project, I just wanted to talk a little bit about my experience of the academic expectations put on people of colour, namely black people and mixed people in the UK. So I'm just going to get into it. So obviously there's a lot of really contradicting sort of expectations of people of colour in society. So this can make it really, really hard to know where you stand, and it means that you might lose track of what you actually want to do in the process of all of it. I want to unpack some of this now. So the first thing I want to talk about is black people especially are expected to fail by a lot of teachers right from the start. A quote that I got from a government report, it says, "Racism was considered to influence schools' views on unacceptable behaviour and expectations of different groups of people." From this, we already know that black people have higher rates of exclusion, and I think it's fair to say that a lot of black people are expected to fail by their teachers already just because of small racist undertones and systemic racism that exists in education. So the second thing I want to talk about is how there can sometimes be a stigma around black students and the performing arts and the arts more generally too. So as a student who loves performing arts and singing and drama, this is something that I've noticed quite a lot. So within black culture, there can often seem to be a stigma around the arts being less of a career path, and it's not a serious career that you could take. Sometimes in friendship groups, students who do drama or art might get mocked because it is seen as more feeble or weak or not as important as more academic subjects like maths and science. So I think this is mainly because of a lack of representation of black people in the arts. So a lot of people don't have these role models. For example, in ballet, a lot of black ballerinas are not publicised as much as white ballerinas might be. This means that people are less likely to have those role models that they need. In drama, you know, a lot of people, it seems crazy, but a lot of people don't even think that black people do drama, or that especially black boys don't do drama. That's a big thing that I've heard around, which is just obviously not true, or even that black boys can't do drama, which is obviously not true at all. And it's a real sort of expectation of black people that they're not involved in those sorts of subjects at school. They don't study it, they don't enjoy it outside of school, and I think it's a real issue that I've faced as well, and I'm sure that a lot of you will have too. One thing that I wanted to also touch on is the fact that I think a lot of black students are often always expected to be the smart or the hardworking one. I don't really know where this comes from, but in my experience I think there can be a lot of stigma around black culture that students or black children will be physically punished for poor work, and I think peers can find it an opportunity to either mock this, they find it as some sort of joke to mock around it. They're light-hearted, but obviously it's stemmed in systemic racism. Or a lot of other students always expect me to be the top of the class. They might do this for you too. They say things like, oh, but you know, like, your parents really strict, or you're so brainy, I can't believe it. And even if you're just doing average, I think people always say this, and I don't really know why this actually happens. But yeah, I think there can be some truth in this, in the fact that often you can feel as a black student that you have a lot of expectation riding on you from parents or from peers or from the school, and that can sort of give an element of truth to this expectation, but not always. And the last thing I wanted to talk about is the fact that there is often an expectation of black students who are high achievers to be sort of the face of the school, or to be some sort of advocate for diversity, be on all the diversity panels, lead the like the Black and Ethnic Minority Society, all these sorts of things. And often this is it's like a double effect that really actually has a detrimental effect sometimes on black students and people of colour, because as well as having to overcome all the obstacles that are already in their way to having the same level of education as their white peers, not only this, but then they're burdened with the extra expectation that they now have to actually give something back to the school or to the society in order to sort of fulfill their role as a black person in that environment. Now, this can be really detrimental because not only does it make people feel that they have to do something because of the way that they look, or just because of the colour of their skin, that they're obliged to do it to help other people up the ladder, but it also, for example, it's going to take a lot of time, and when your time is being taken up, you're not studying, you're not actually achieving your goals that you want to be doing, and so sort of you're being held back by this in some way. And obviously it is really great to be on these panels, and I've personally enjoyed doing stuff like this, and like being on panels in school, and obviously for me it's something that I'm quite passionate about. But for a lot of people, as the only black person in their college or their sixth form or their secondary school, they might feel that this is something that they actually have to do, when in reality they shouldn't feel any obligation to do such things. Obviously I've said quite a few sort of negative points about black people in education and like what the expectations are, but obviously we all know that there is a lot of black excellence as well. And I think sometimes a bit in linking with the first point, that teachers or people in that environment don't have high expectations of us, but actually I want to encourage you all that you do have black excellence, and you know, you have things that you excel at, and don't be afraid to show that and really set the expectation for yourself, because the only person who can really do that for you is you, and you really define how you want to be seen. And as much as it might be set up against you, you can redefine that and sort it for yourself. I hope you've taken something from this, and yeah, I hope you've been able to relate to it, and I just encourage you, keep trying, keep focusing, keep working hard, and you'll get the goals, you'll get your goals and your dreams. So yeah, thanks for listening.